Hey gents, today we are going to answer what tends to be one of my most frequently asked questions. You've decided you want a Chelsea boot, you decided you want Thursday boots, but what is the difference between the Duke and the Cavalier, the excellently named Cavalier Chelsea? No relation to the channel, it's Cavalier with a C. But looking at these two different boots, they tend to be extremely popular and they are slightly different, and I want to dive into the differences between those because the middle name of this channel is Detail and Minutia, and you guys seem to love it. So today we're going to dive into these two Chelsea boots and talk about their differences. So let's dive in. To set the stage, my experience with Thursday boots, I did an entire video dedicated to these Duke Chelsea boots that I have had for about 2.5 years in the weatherproof suede. Huge fan of these. If you want more on that, I will link to that below. Also, I have worn their executive shoes for a while as well. So I've had experience with their leather, with their suede, with their full rubber outsoles, and with their leather TPU studded outsoles as well. So feel very well versed to speak to Thursday boots quality in general. Even though these boots are both very new, they are materials that I've had experience with. I just want to talk about the different fits and feels about these two boots and who they might be right for. Thursday boots in general though, made in Mexico. There's a new sticker on this shoe where it says designed in New York, handmade in Mexico, which is pretty interesting. They also have a made in the USA line, so you can check that out. As I discussed in my video with Trenton and Heath, where we compared Thursday boots to Allen Edmonds, I'll link to that video too. I think this is an amazing value for $200. It's a Goodyear welted shoe. It's going to last you a while. You might have to replace the cork in the middle, which we talked about in that video, but very nice. The first and most notable thing between the two is the sleeker, more dressier look to the Cavalier than the Duke. When comparing the Cavalier to the executive shoe, it seems to be the same outsole and a similar last. It fits very much like their dress shoes, so if you wear Thursday boots dress shoes, you want to make sure you get that size, because I do find that the Duke is slightly larger. It's not enough that I'm an 11.5 in the Cavalier and a 12 in the Duke. I do find the Duke ends up running slightly larger than this one, because it's also, when you see the toe shape on here, the Cavalier sits a little bit lower, and so if you like the fit of the Duke, you might want to stick with that. If you are looking for something that maybe fits a little bit better to your foot, or you find that the Duke fits well in the length of your foot, but it leaves a little bit of room above the toe, that's where the Cavalier will come in. You also have slight differences in the opening of the shoe. You can see on the Cavalier just a slightly different design around the elastic, and to me this is much more of a dress look versus the Duke, which is more utilitarian and I would say rugged. It has the pull tab on the back where you do not have that on the Cavalier. Not a make or break thing. I do like having pull tabs. I did that video on RM Williams, and oh my, I do like those shoes. But the rugged look goes straight through the Duke here. You can see the Goodyear welted stitching all around the outside of the shoe, which gives it that rugged, durable look, versus the Cavalier, much more subtle. And even on this gray suede model, you have black stitching around this black outsole, just for a much sleeker look. As far as wearing them dressed up, I definitely found these Duke shoes, these are like a go-to with jeans. I wouldn't really wear them with slacks. I'd be okay wearing the leather with slacks, but you will know if in your office environment, if a boot is going to be too dressed down. In a lot of places, so many people wear sneakers anymore that you're gonna look good because you're wearing something that's a leather shoe. What I am really impressed with, and I talked about this in my extended review of the Duke, is the weatherproof suede, and that's what you have here on the Cavalier as well. So you can basically get this suede in either of the shoes. It just depends on the color you're looking for. But the way that it repels snow, water, rain, any sort of elements you're going to be running into is super impressive. And so I would say start with the suede. I also find suede, because it's a little more casual, a little more versatile. It's a really nice place to start. And then if you really like the look and feel of Chelsea boots, because you also get that slip-on comfort. It's very much like a slipper. You just kind of twist and slide it onto your foot, versus lacing up shoes. Like, it's a small thing, but it ends up being big in the aggregate. And so the suede is very impressive on these shoes for how rugged and durable it is, because you usually don't associate those qualities with suede. There was most of a winter where these became my de facto snow boots, because they are so good at looking good. And overall, it's going to come down to what is the look that you are going for. Do you want that slightly more elevated and elegant look? That'll give you the Cavalier. Or do you want something that's an all-around, really good looking boot that you'll mostly wear as a casual piece with jeans? That is going to be the Duke. And then where a lot of my recommendations end up coming back to you guys is which one has the color and the combination that you're looking for. Are you looking for a full rubber outsole? That's mostly going to be the Duke. Are you looking for a leather, or do you really like the gray in the Cavalier? Then go for that one. I really don't think you can go wrong between the two. I'd say if this is your very first Chelsea boot, I did a great video on how to style Chelsea boots, but I think the Duke is an easier entryway into the Cavalier. The Cavalier is definitely a more unique boot. I think the Duke will serve most guys really well, but I think you can pull them both off, and especially if this is your entry into really well-made shoes and Goodyear welted shoes, you're in good hands with Thursday. I will link to both of these colorways down below, but there are many more options on the site. You can go and check them out for yourself. There you have it, gents. I will put links down to Thursday boots. I am anxiously anticipating Karl Morawski's video where they interviewed the founders. He has been one of their most outspoken critics. It seems like he has some really good information he's ready to share with us. So I will put that video link in there once it is live, but as of recording this, it is not. So love to hear your comments as always. I'm really excited for a big 2020 for you guys. You can also reach out at _Cavalier on Twitter and Instagram. Love to hear from you guys as always. Until next time, gents, this is the Cavalier.